What it do? It's Arson. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube page, Arson, man. Departing my relationship from weed. This is day 16. Feels good, man. Learning a lot about myself, learning a lot about others in this new mind, in a clear sense. Like I said, it's not a right or wrong video. It's just a ripe video. You know, whatever's fruitful at the time for me is going to be fruitful at the time for me. You know what I'm saying? I don't want this information to, to hold truth going down the line. You know what I'm saying? And when I say that, is that I want you guys. I don't want you guys, because I'm not doing it for you guys. I'm speaking like it's third party. I want me to always be in a state of transitioning, or always elevating, or always doing something different than what I did before. You know what I'm saying? Because one thing that I do know is that time does change, and that's truth. You know what I'm saying? Time does change, and time does move forward. And so, day 16, man. I'm learning a lot about, I'm learning a lot about my my inner self, and a lot about my dark side and my light. I'm learning a lot about, my relationship with my wife, and where it seems like we got closer since we don't have these, all these other elements that brings us closer. You know what I'm saying? Because once I got off work and she got off work, it was, I grab a blunt, we roll up, and we talk about our day, and we talking about, what's going on in society. We talk about, politics. We talk about, situations at our job, and it was more of a communion of when we did, roll up and smoke together. You know what I'm saying? And we'll sit there and watch a movie or something like that. But now it's more off of our new minds, and our new way of thinking. You know what I'm saying? And when I say our new way of thinking, it's because it is a new way of thinking, and every day is a new day, and we don't marry perceptions. And that's one thing that me and my wife, we understand, is that if you marry perception, that thing has to hold water. And the only thing that holds water is your daily activity and your daily, what you grab for that day. You know what I'm saying? If somebody brings me something that that debunks my truth, I'm so more than acceptable to adapting that truth if it's right for me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not in the business of feeling a certain way if I get proven wrong. You know what I'm saying? And that's the one thing about a spiritualist. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a spiritualist. That's one thing that I'm open to is, is transitioning and also moving up or moving forward. You know what I'm saying? And so really, this page and the comments that you leave is not for, for judgment towards me. You know what I'm saying? It's not for anything for a person to really dissect and to see if I'm telling the truth, because I don't care. You know what I'm saying? And so if you follow me, you know what I'm saying, if you're listening to the words that I'm saying, just know that, you know what I'm saying, it's helpful for you at this time. You know what I'm saying? If you can relate. If you can't relate, you know what I'm saying, you can feel free to turn it off whenever. You know what I'm saying? I have that type of, you know what I'm saying, attitude towards this. You see what I'm saying? And so day 16, man, it's it's a lot of doors that's opening up for me, man. And it's all due off patience and diligence and discipline. And one thing that I did want to you know what I'm saying, address today is that each individual's journey doesn't require someone or something to be attached to that. Friends, family, they don't have, or a substance, a book. Books are, let me just say this, books are definitely powerful references, and we need books to kind of add to our arsenal. It's really giving us confirmation. It's not telling, a book is never telling us something new. It's always reminding us of the ancient mind that we already have. Because you can read a book that's so insightful or that gives you this certain knowledge, and you sit back and you be like, damn, dog, like I always been thinking that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's always been in my spirit because the book chose you. You know what I'm saying? This life is so, it's so synchronized, especially when you're looking for true spiritual enlightenment. You know what I'm saying? The book chose you. You know what I'm saying? But to hold on to that book and to praise that book, it's a certain attitude that we have, with knowledge or, references or resources. That's exactly what it is. It's just a resource. It's a resource to add to your arsenal. Now, on the other flip polarity side is that you need that resource. I'm not shooting it down or anything. You need that book or that resource to add to your arsenal, to add to your daily living, to add to your to add to your strength of unfolding while you're here on this earth. You know what I'm saying? That should be everybody's mission, is to figure out why you're here and why you came back here, or why it's your first time here. You know what I'm saying? It's to figure that out, and the rest is going to follow, because you'll be so content in doing, all the other mundane shit, because you already know why you're here. And also, you'll be protected, because you'll be, in the back of your mind, you'll be like, I'm here for a purpose. So I don't need to get involved with this situation. I don't need to be wholeheartedly involved in this battle or this war. You know what I'm saying? Because you know that you're on a mission. And just finding those things out is beautiful in alone in itself. You know what I'm saying? And so how I feel on day 16 without weed, my nigga stopped by last night, you know what I'm saying? And I knew it was a test, you know what I'm saying? Nah, but shout out to my nigga though, man. That's my nigga for life, man. We done been through the muck and the mud together, man. We done been through it together, you know what I'm saying? So he done seen me up, he done seen me down, he done seen me through my worst times, he done seen me in my best times, you know what I'm saying? That's my nigga. But you know what I'm saying, I smelled pack in the car, you know what I'm saying? He was smoking cigarettes right in front of me, you know what I'm saying? I smelled the weed, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to criminalize you or anything like that. I'm not going to shout your name out, anything like that, bro. But, you know what I mean? It's like, I smelt it, you know what I'm saying? And what my spirit was telling me was just like it wasn't even a pep talk of trying to restrain from it. It was just like I actually absorbed it, smelt the cigarette smoke, didn't want none, you know what I'm saying? Smelt the weed, you know what I'm saying? My nigga, he could have just threw me something for absolutely free. But it was just like, it was a pleasure to just sit there in my right mind and not have to fight the temptation. And I know that I addressed on the other video is that temptation is only what you entertain. And so I didn't entertain that feeling that you get. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, damn, that shit smell like some motherfucking killer. Paya. You know what I'm saying? Now, if I told my brain that, I probably would have creeped in and been like, let me see that shit. Let me smell that shit. Put that shit, roll that shit up real quick. Let me hit that shit a couple times. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't none of that nature. It was just like, I let go of my relationship with weed. It's just like, it's like an ex bitch that you just like, bitch, I don't even want to argue no more. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't owe you my energy. I don't owe you my energy. So why would I give it to you? You know what I'm saying? That was what I felt about the weed last night. You know what I'm saying? It was just like, okay, you know what I'm saying? Now that I this dog tripping like a motherfucker. No. And so, yeah, man, it's like, you know, it's just like, yo, ex bitch, would you argue, or would you kind of like fight a temptation if you know that you're completely done with this bitch? Like, for real, like you're not gonna. It's just like, I'm done, man. It's just like, and then some people try to fight it. It's just like, you're fighting it. That's why it's so hard. That's why your temptation is so. It's so tempting, because you're fighting it, and some people do have to fight it like that. You know what I'm saying? But but my approach and my, you know what I'm saying, my departure from it, you know what I'm saying, is just exactly that. You know what I'm saying? It's actually just moving forward. You know what I'm saying? Moving forward from our relationship with weed. Now the properties and the healing aspect of weed, I have that in my arsenal. You know what I'm saying? And so when people watch this video, for the people that it's for, you know what I'm saying, if it's not for you, just turn it off. You know what I'm saying? I'm not forcing you to do anything. But you know that it has a healing agent in weed, and that's something that I just carry in my arsenal. You know what I'm saying? And so that I know that for a fact. I don't know for a fact because it hasn't happened yet. Let me not speak that into existence. But I know that that later on down the line, if like some type of, you know what I'm saying, ailment comes, or I have some type of blockage inside of my body, and it requires that plant, you know what I'm saying, weed, I'm going to use it for that purpose. I'm not going to be stupid. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to go pop a whole bunch of pills. You know what I'm saying? Maybe not. You know what I'm saying? It's depending on. But what I'm saying with this is that I will use it for that intentional property, because I know what it does. You know what I'm saying? I know exactly what it does. I know exactly what it helps with. You know what I'm saying? And so some people might say, oh, that's kind of hypocritical, because I thought you were departing your relationship from weed. And I am. You know what I'm saying? I've abused it over the years. I've actually abused it over the years. And so with me abusing that beautiful plant, you know, I'm going to treat it right. You know what I'm saying? And so for me to treat it right, I have to depart my relationship from it and come to it correctly. You know what I'm saying? That lines up with my body and my spirit and my, you know what I'm saying, and everything in this temple of what's going on. You know what I'm saying? And so, you know, it is what it is. I have zero temptation for it. You know what I'm saying? And I know that I talk about it every day, because I'm 22 years. I was 22 years in and smoking that shit, and I'm only, 16 days. What is this, day 15? No, 16. Yeah, I'm 16 days in of I'm losing track. I'm losing track of, you know what I'm saying, of the days, man. So it's day 16, man. 16 days in of not having my hands on it, you know what I'm saying, or really thinking about it. Now, what my guy had pointed out last night was that he said that, Arson, you quit, you know what I'm saying, during a period in your life, you know what I'm saying. And I know when I quit, I quit when I was going to church, and that was only for moralistic standpoints, because I thought that me doing it, that it was going to lead me to this dark place. You see what I'm saying? That was going to lead me to, or I was going to go to hell doing it. And that wasn't a legitimate reason, because we all know that, you know what I'm saying, we all know that it's, you know, heaven and hell is in the mind, you know what I'm saying. And I'm not going to go into, you know what I'm saying, the religious standpoint of, you know what I'm saying, heaven and hell, you know what I'm saying, that's for other videos. But, you know what I'm saying, I told you, I was like, that was for a moralistic standpoint, you know what I'm saying. I'm not holding myself to a moralistic standpoint, I'm holding myself to a realistic standpoint, and where and the consistency and the history of where it's gotten me, and the reason why I chose to stop. You know what I'm saying? This is a more better reason, is for, you know what I'm saying, more spiritual enlightenment, and for, you know what I'm saying, for the enlightenment itself, of myself, you know what I'm saying. Now, some people need to smoke weed so they can get to that area, you know what I'm saying. Some people are just so stuck in this mundane society is that they probably do need to smoke some weed to get to that inner spiritual enlightenment, you know what I'm saying. So it's plenty of polarities out here in this world, man. It's just the fact that you have to figure which one out and what's ripe for you. Not right, what's ripe for you. You know what I'm saying? I don't hold myself to a right and wrong standard. You know what I'm saying? It's more on a growth standard. You know what I'm saying? And so if you guys hold me to a moralistic standpoint, to a traditional standpoint, or you're not supposed to be doing this standpoint, then that's what you hold me to. You know what I'm saying? That's not true love. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want that type of love if you call that love. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's neither here or there, man. Yeah, man, it was, you know, it was definitely, it wasn't even no test. Like, the test, like, you know, like, it wasn't a chess game, you know what I'm saying, inside my head. You know what I'm saying? I done flipped the whole board over, you know what I'm saying? Like, I flipped the whole fucking board over, you know what I'm saying? I'm not playing no game, you know what I'm saying? It's just me, you know what I'm saying? I'm out here going through my journey, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, I got a lot of things planned today, man. You know, got a new opportunity that I'm supposed to, you know what I'm saying, attack today, man. And I'm excited about it, man. It's always new stuff, you know, that's coming up, and I never want to get lost into, you know, me doing the mundane and getting lost in the mundane and getting away from this point in my life, you know what I'm saying? Because me speaking, you know what I'm saying, and letting, you know what I'm saying, what I feel out, that's more therapy than anything, you know what I'm saying? That's more enlightenment for me than anything. And you know what I'm saying? I know that it's not a lot of ego involved, but it is egotistical to be in front of the camera in a sense. But if you're doing it out of a, you know what I'm saying, a pure purpose, you know what I'm saying, and not to get, you know what I'm saying, millions and thousands of followers, and you're doing it just from, you know what I'm saying, your heart, you know what I'm saying, I know that this will help somebody down the line. And if I can help one person, you know what I'm saying, which is myself, then I've done my job. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying, they always say, if I can help one person out of this world, then I've done my job. Yeah, that's yourself, nigga. That's yourself. You're supposed to help yourself. You know what I'm saying? People need to be more selfish, man. People need to be more selfish. You know what I'm saying? And it's this ringer that goes off in people's head when you say selfish. It's just like, aren't you yourself? Aren't you yourself? If you can answer that question with yes, selfish, that means that you're paying a lot of attention to yourself. And there's a lot of people that don't pay a lot of attention to themselves because they're too busy trying to help others when they don't have their own self together. And the other people that they're helping, they like, oh, I'm glad she's in my life. I'm glad he's in my life. It's just like they don't even want to help them on their own self because you're there. You already helped them out. You need to be a little bit more selfish. You know what I'm saying? And that act alone turns the other people to look within too, because they be like, damn, she or he, they not even messing with me no more. So I have to figure out a way. I have to strengthen my inner self. And it's healthy for everybody. You know what I'm saying? We've been misconstrued with all these cliches. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing about cliches, man. We carry that shit like a Bible, man. We carry cliches like a Bible, man. Cliches is the ultimate mind control because they sound so slick and they sound so amusing at the time and so entertaining. You know what I'm saying? It's just like we fall in love with them cliches. You know what I'm saying? It's like, what's a cliche, man? I could think about it. It's like it's a lot of cliches that's out here, man. I can't even think of ones. You know what I'm saying? I done eliminated it because of the way that I've trained my subconscious mind. You know what I'm saying? It's just like I don't adapt as cliches. I make them my own. I make them my own cliches because it's only right at the time. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, I got one. I got one for you. You can't turn a hoe into a housewife. Now, not speaking from my own perspective. No, I'm not. You know what I'm saying? This is just the way that I think. This is arson thoughts. You know what I'm saying? I've eliminated morality and the right and wrong out of the equation. You know what I'm saying? You can't turn a hoe into a housewife. Now, true, so true, in a sense, but false, in a sense. Depending on the man, you know what I'm saying? It's depending on your motives. It's depending on your hunger. You know what I'm saying? And you don't want a unexperienced / timid / afraid / polarized / one-minded female just because she meets the criteria on the exterior. You see what I'm saying? You know, looks good on the surface, you know what I'm saying, been raised well, you know, and this is the polarity of that. Those type of women can be taught also, you know what I'm saying, but it's just that it's those cliches that has people, you know what I'm saying, or some of the people out in this world, you know what I'm saying, damn near, you know what I'm saying, lonely and single, you know what I'm saying. It's just like no, you can't turn no hoe into a housewife. I done tried it before, and it's just like, okay, and it's it only works for some. You know what I'm saying? The thing is, I'm not saying that the cliche is untrue. It's just that we marry these cliches. we marry these cliches. And so if you marry a cliche, you have to hold on to that. And if you've holding on to that motherfucker too long, that means that's just like that one meme where it says, you know what I'm saying, sometimes holding on can cause more pain than just letting go. You know what I'm saying? And the man was holding on to a rope, but his hands was bleeding. You know what I'm saying? But if you hold on to that cliche for so long, you know what I'm saying, you would never know, you know what I'm saying, what's on the other side of the spectrum. And so in that sense, it's just that, okay, you meet a nice girl, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, she a little bit promiscuous, but you know what I'm saying, y'all vibing, you know what I'm saying? And she says, there's something about you, baby. I just don't know. I just want to be around with you, you know what I'm saying? And then what triggers in your mind, like opportunist, you know what I'm saying? She fell in love with the nice nigga, you know what I'm saying? Or maybe I was too nice to this hoe, you know what I'm saying? And then you're not looking at the fact that, stop! Put it down. Put it down. And you're not looking at the fact that, you know what I'm saying, maybe she was being genuine and maybe she's looking for a way out of her promiscuity. You see what I'm saying? Now you test the draws, you test the bedroom game. You like, this bitch is amazing. You know what I'm saying? This bitch is amazing. You know what I'm saying? But y'all vibing though. Y'all vibing on a whole different level. You know what I'm saying? Y'all ribbing each other out in the streets. You know what I'm saying? Y'all ribbing other people out in the streets and shit. Y'all want to get something to eat, man. Y'all can sit there and watch Sports Center together and, you know what I'm saying, these weird ass movies. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Shit is cool. You know what I'm saying? She cool around your guys, but you're holding on to this cliche. You like, man, maybe she might smash one of my guys though. You know what I'm saying? But she just she just gave her heart to you. She just said, I'm digging you. I just don't know what it is. I just like you. You know what I'm saying? I just like being around you. You know what I'm saying? And some people be like, you know what I'm saying? Like, all right, baby, you know what I'm saying? I'm finna go bust a move and all this. And then like weeks later, you just like, okay, I'm not gonna get too attached to this bitch because you really can't turn no hoe into a housewife because I know her history. And now you've eliminated your your best option that was out there for you. You know what I'm saying? You're reminiscing on the bomb ass sex, or not the bomb ass sex, or the connection. You know what I'm saying? Anybody can have bomb ass sex. Y'all could just be vibing one night with anybody. You know what I'm saying? You can have bomb sex with anybody, but y'all the bomb ass sex plus the connection added up. But your cliche, your conscious mind, which is the hater. The conscious mind is the hater, which led you astray from your blessing, man. She was willing to lay down all that shit for you, but based off her history, the promiscuity, the whole tendencies, the addiction to sex that you thought that she had, but now she's only addicted to you. You know what I'm saying? Now you gotta marry. Now you gotta marry. You have to marry that cliche. Now you have to hold on to that cliche. Can't turn a hoe into a housewife. Yeah, for you, you can't. And you're not. Now, you can't turn no bitch into a housewife. Because now you finna get with this good girl that's not a hoe. You know, your pocket's gonna be straight. You know what I'm saying? Your checkbook gonna be straight. It's gonna be balanced out. But you're gonna be miserable as a motherfucker. She ain't gonna be doing shit. And which leads you, I got the housewife at home, but now I gotta go fulfill my kinky side. Now I gotta go fulfill my kinky side. Did y'all follow that story though? It goes down like that in the DM. You know what I'm saying? It goes down like that. You know, and that's just the way that life goes, because we marry perceptions, we marry cliches, we hold on to them, and that this is what exercise I use. Eliminate any perception or cliches that you hold on so dearly to this day. Eliminate it. Even if it hurt you in the past. Even if you've given up that cliche and you try something new, even if it hurt you in the past, still eliminate this perception and this cliche. We all have perception and cliches that we were married to. You know what I'm saying? Just being in this human temple, just being in this human body, this shell. Hell, shell. You know what I'm saying? The shell, the bone, the skin, the nose, the body. You know what I'm saying? Shell. And to go back to that statement I made of moralism, it's more on a sense that this is hell. You know what I'm saying? This shell is hell. You know what I'm saying? This shell that we're in. You know what I'm saying? And you can always, and that's what the mind is for. It's to shift your thinking. Okay, we down here in this hell. We're locked. Our spirit is locked in this shell. But I'm gonna make the best of it. That's the transformation of the mind. You know what I'm saying? You wake up with a grateful attitude. You know what I'm saying? You wake up. You know what I'm saying? Shifting the mind only to positive thoughts. You know what I'm saying? Negative thoughts gonna come. They come natural because of all the shit that we gotta take care of, and that's involved in our life and what happens and all this other stuff. It's that, but that's the power of training the subconscious mind. It's training the subconscious mind to sit there and create this world that's in front of you. You know what I'm saying? You can create it. No building or house that's outside right now, big tall hotels, buildings in Dubai and Africa down the street from you, they're not standing unless it came out of somebody's mind. And once you realize that that car that you drive, it came out of somebody's mind from the inside out. And so we marry these perceptions, man, just to get back on board, man. We marry these perceptions, but what you have to do is create this model that's conducive to your life. You have to create this model that's conducive, that's ripe for your life. And that's the beauty of this life too. You know what I'm saying? Of course we down here, you know what I'm saying, we gotta pay bills and we gotta take care of children and we gotta pay mortgages and all this other shit, and we gotta deal with racism and we gotta deal with, you know what I'm saying, employees and bosses and, you know what I'm saying, all this other shit, man. Of course that happens, but what you're in control of is the creation of this different life that you have the power to create through the working of the subconscious mind. You know what I'm saying? Not the conscious mind, the subconscious mind. The conscious mind is the hater. The conscious mind is that some businesses is unsuccessful in the first 3 or 4 years. It takes a lot of time to get through this type of hurt because I've been through a lot. You know what I'm saying? I don't trust niggas. I don't trust bitches like that. And it's just like, that's the conscious mind. Of course, it's going to stop you. The conscious mind is going to stop you. But to train the subconscious mind is through meditation. It's through fasting. It's through, you imagining. It's through you letting go of things that's not right for you anymore. You know what I'm saying? If you've been helping out people all your life, maybe you need to stop helping out people for the rest of your life. And imagine in your mind you not helping these people out, but building something for yourself that helps more people that you've helped, you know what I'm saying, through your life. You know what I'm saying? You can create that. Conscious mind is the hater, man. I learned that the hard way. And so, yeah. One, with building your own world through the subconscious mind, man. Everything that I've acquired to this point, everything that I have, I've imagined first. My wife, my children, me being in this place, me talking to you guys, me having my own YouTube page, me having my own t-shirt business, me making money on the side, me being so multitask, me bringing, you know what I'm saying, different forms of income in, you know what I'm saying, through different talents that I have. I've imagined that first in my mind, and it manifested in the physical. Now, do I go through hardships, struggles, and, you know, financial problems? I'm in a shell. I go through that. You know what I'm saying? Now I have the choice now to create what I'm thinking now, and to also maintain and do it a little bit more smarter than what I did it. You know what I'm saying? And not holding on to this perception of doing things. You know what I'm saying? Not being married to the perception of, oh, I gotta have this so I can get through the night. I gotta have my liquor. I gotta have my weed. I gotta, you know what I'm saying? I gotta make sure that, you know what I'm saying, I gotta have a fresh pair of shoes on before I go here. I gotta have this shirt on, you know what I'm saying, so I can, you know what I'm saying? And that's all fine and dandy. I'm not saying that stuff is wrong, but I've changed my perception around that. It's just like, this is what I enjoy doing. I enjoy being around my family. I enjoy spending time with my family. I enjoy, you know what I'm saying, sharing my thoughts on video. I enjoy reading. I enjoy researching all the time. I do it naturally. You know what I'm saying? And so what I imagine in my mind, that's what I'm doing right now. You know what I'm saying? And so everybody else has the power to do that. You know, stop marrying perceptions, man. Stop marrying cliches. You know what I'm saying? Them cliches got you held down. You know what I'm saying? I gotta have a blunt before I go to bed, man. It's just I'm, you know what I'm saying, I can't sleep. Fine and dandy, bro. Fine and dandy. You've married that perception. Until you unmarry that perception, you will never see what you can, what's on the other side of the spectrum. Stop marrying perception. Stop marrying cliches. And so that's one thing I learned, man, and that's one thing that I'm still working on. And I still got some hidden drawers in my soul. I mean, I still got some hidden drawers in my spirit that still need to be cleaned out, and I don't even know what's all up in there. You know what I'm saying? I won't know until the day comes, until I demonstrate that flaw that's in me. I won't know until that day comes, until I demonstrate that flaw that's in me. You see what I'm saying? I'm not afraid to fail. I'm not afraid to make mistakes. That's the thing. That's the beauty about me being a spiritual transitionalist. You know what I'm saying? I done made up my whole, I done made up my own title, you know what I'm saying? And I got a video of, you know what I'm saying, disconnecting from titles, man. Look it up, man. Arson on YouTube. Disconnection from titles. You know what I'm saying? I'm a spiritual transitionalist. And if you can put a title and describe that, you know what I'm saying, it describes more of the function than the actual title. You know what I'm saying? It describes the functionality of it than the actual title. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. This is Arson, man. Make sure you subscribe to my page, man. Go to my website, frequencytees.com. PHREEQUENCY-TEEZ.com. I know it's long, but I don't care. Signing out, man. Peace. Stop marrying them fucking perceptions, man. Stop marrying cliches, man. You're not even going to touch the other side of the spectrum. And that's what us as human beings want to do, man. We want to see that other side, man. You know what I'm saying? That's what everybody's doing every day. They just got hope that something's better along the line. But if, like, you got to look inside of your life and say, okay, what perceptions am I married to? What perceptions am I addicted, or what cliches have I married, you know what I'm saying, or taken in, you know what I'm saying, into my psyche. You know what I'm saying? We all have to clean out that spiritual drawer, that little drawer that got all the screws and the nails and the little tape, the black tape, and the broken scissors and the broken toenail clippers, and you know what I'm saying, it's got some balloons from, you know what I'm saying, it's got some balloons from, you know what I'm saying, your kid's birthday, and you got, you know what I'm saying, you got some, you know what I'm saying, some glue up in that motherfucker. We got to clean out them spiritual drawers, man. Because them little items that I've named, those are all perceptions and cliches that's still hidden, and that's a drawer that we rarely go to in our house, in our physical house. That's a drawer that we rarely go to in our physical house that we have to clean out. And so I'm a spiritual transitionalist, man. I'm definitely not married to that title, but it's definitely a functionality that I'm displaying right now, man. And so I'm a transition, man. Don't hold my words as water today because they don't hold my words as water today because they might not be true tomorrow, man. Peace out.